Why would a 16-year-old Khloe Kardashian go on tour with P. Diddy?
I definitely was drinking at 16.
Yeah, Chloe was on tour with Puff at 16.
I did not start drinking till later.
You were driving cars at 15.
Ever since Diddy's arrest, a lot of people have been talking about the Kardashians, specifically Kim and Kris. Now, I'm not saying don't focus on Kim and Kris, but from old episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the one that was closest to Diddy, it seems, was definitely Khloe. And why would a 16-year-old Khloe be on tour with Diddy? Khloe, from what we know, never sang, was never a singer or a dancer. So what was she doing on tour with him at 16 years old?
Lil Romeo has made a shocking revelation. He claims that Nick Cannon betrayed him to Diddy. You have undoubtedly heard Romeo refer to Nick Cannon as his mentor and brother, but some have taken that admiration and twisted it into allegations of treachery. Nick Cannon may have been more of a salesman than a mentor, according to Lil Romeo, who is now revealing his ulterior intentions. Romeo's revelations provide a wealth of information on Cannon's covert connections and his strong affinity with Diddy. Were they just business partners, or was there more going on behind the scenes? The history of Lil Romeo and Nick Cannon, as we all know, was a significant part of Romeo's life in the early 2000s. Having risen to fame as a child star himself, many assumed that his interest in Lil Romeo was just another example of an experienced star helping the next generation. I said he got a Norman shirt on, and I asked him if he had anything important to announce because we know my favorite artist, and I bet she is. I told you just a minute ago I was wearing a Tupac shirt. You wouldn't be saying anything, and you wouldn't be thinking what I'm thinking if you were wearing a Tupac shirt supporting women's empowerment. This is my favorite artist, and I'm not sure what you Norman and Romeo are doing, but if we saw Rome, would she be wearing a Romeo shirt? Our couple, that's all I have to say, but I really want to tell you something about Norman. She's one of my busiest and most successful friends, and when I send my Bible study notes to all of my friends, she's among the first to see how he's returned. I'm saying that though because he's been dependable throughout the entire process, and Romeo Miller is incredibly talented. What's going on, my God? You seem like my brother from another planet. Mother's genuine words in several interviews. According to reports, Cannon helped Romeo find opportunities in music and television, establishing Romeo's brand alongside his own rising empire. Romeo praised Cannon, calling him more than a friend, someone he could look up to, and someone who understood the pressure he was under. Nick served as a big brother and mentor, but when Romeo tells the whole narrative, it seems that there was much more going on behind the scenes with Diddy Cannon's covert motivation. It turns out that Cannon's influence led him to be exposed to a side of the entertainment industry that most children his age would never experience. Cannon allegedly took Romeo to parties hosted by Diddy, which were notorious for their exclusivity and, let's say, their extravagant nature. Romeo, who was still quite young at the time, was thrown into this environment without fully understanding what he was getting into. Romeo now claims that these parties weren't the typical celebrity meetings, though artists are removing themselves from Kansas City and the horrifying reality of what transpired after those parties behind closed doors. Young Romeo, who was still figuring out his place in Hollywood, was exposed to a world where nothing was off limits, where people lived without boundaries, and where fame frequently came with a price. These experiences were intense, sometimes overwhelming, and he has recently talked about feeling uncomfortable and out of place at some of these events, surrounded by. Romeo saw directly how people treated one another in the realm of top notoriety, which apparently increased his uneasiness with adults who were doing things he didn't completely comprehend. Insiders claim that some of these gatherings were more than just parties. They were a means of retaining authority, asserting control, and even pressuring up-and-coming celebrities into unprepared situations. These were gatherings where A-listers met, agreements were made, and alliances were formed, all behind closed doors. For Romeo, in the glamour of Hollywood started to lose its shine once he got a close-up look at the real face of fame and the exclusive circle they were rolling in. The inaugural party was held in East Hampton, New York, during Labor Day weekend on September 7, 1998. According to witnesses, Diddy invited 200 guests to a cookout at his New Hampton house. The guest list was rather varied. One of the witnesses in Sean Diddy Cole's latest case claims that some of Diddy's videos may demonstrate his heinous activities against minors. Diddy's vault has cess involving young celebrities. Legal drama. During her testimony before the Combs grand jury in New York, Courtney Burgess revealed shocking details about secret recordings. Burgess said that he had seen 11 flash drives with 8S recordings on them that included well-known celebrities, some of whom were reportedly minors. In fact, he says the tapes are from Did's ex, the ex of Kim Porter Diddy. The cassettes are from the mother of his children, who gave them to him years ago in Atlanta. The number of flash drives seemed to be 2 or 3, but it may have been 3 or 2 or 3. Provide a personal account of Diddy's 30 years of immoral behavior, which, if accurate, may link Diddy to the startling criminal accusations and ongoing legal disputes. As more people come forward with allegations of inappropriate behavior and accusations are growing, lawsuits are being filed that expose allegations of misconduct and the exploitation of children. On October 28, 2 more lawsuits hit Diddy, allegedly accusing him of using his influence to entice. He reportedly lured young people with big dreams of fame into his circle by promising them fame in exchange for favors. One plaintiff claims that Combs drugged his drink, assaulted him, and threatened him into silence when he was just 10 years old. In another case, a 17-year-old claims that the audition process was a nightmare and that Diddy used private meetings to manipulate and assault him, forcing him to perform with a bodyguard before removing him from the show. In addition to the numerous accusations already against Diddy, the Texas firm representing these cases, led by Tony Busby, filed in the New York Supreme Court claiming a long-standing toxic pattern linked to Combs' ascent in the industry, which they claim exploited hopeful young artists for decades. Diddy is currently facing civil lawsuits and federal charges. Naturally, Diddy's legal team is defending him vigorously, claiming that the accusations are baseless and vicious, but the public and fans are beginning to wonder how much of Diddy's empire was based on charm and how much it was founded on coercion, and things are becoming messier as more celebrities are apparently thinking about making their personal experiences public. Speaking of accusations, Diddy's bodyguard discloses that there are other Diddy videos. Diddy's longtime bodyguard Gene Deal just escalated the situation by implying that the 8 tapes that witness Courtney Burgess brought to court may only be the beginning. One of the tapes that Deal discusses shows Diddy with an alleged superstar, and people get this when they are asked to speculate about who might be in the. He was quick to bring up the recordings. Nick Cannon, who has been a front-row observer of Diddy's wild lifestyle for years, says there may be more tapes out there. According to Deal, there is a whole vault of lost tapes that could reveal Hollywood's best-kept secrets. These tapes feature some of the biggest names in music, sports, and film, frequently caught up in scenes too scandalous for the general public. This is just one that I could think of that is larger than Diddy, and there are a few I could come up with. Up with Will Smith, he is bigger than Daddy. Deal's claims back up Burgess's recent testimony regarding tapes, including the potential for those showing underage stars. He has publicly expressed his belief that these tapes could demonstrate not only coercion and exploitation, but also a world of control and manipulation that he held over stars who dared to enter his orbit and used his prestige and power to force women to perform prolonged acts with men. These are the famous people we've discussed, and Combs is allegedly one of them. As if it couldn't be any more startling, apparently Cannon's friendship with Diddy went beyond business. Romeo made yet another shocking revelation. Romeo claims that Cannon and Diddy were not just tight, but that their connection may have extended beyond business. According to some sources, Cannon's relationship with Diddy may have had a personal component that Romeo just recently began to explore. Their strong relationship resulted in a cooperation that went beyond simple professional networking. To learn how to feel about that as he grew older. When I was going through my belongings, someone called to check on me and stood by me. I asked, what do I mean by that? And he said, stand by, you stood up for you well when no one else would protect me, or whether it's way before all of this information came out. And he felt like he always had to defend, he felt like he had to defend Diddy because Diddy looked out for him. When Nick was asked to comment on Diddy's assault video, he said he didn't want to pass judgment, which raises the issue of if he was previously aware of it and whether he did the same to Lil Romeo, which also applied to Diddy. Cannon and Diddy were really planning to do exclusive invite-only events together. Due to his affiliation with Diddy, Orlando Brown's surprising allegations against Cannon have surfaced once more. In 2020, Orlando sparked a media frenzy by asserting that Nick Cannon had performed orals on him, and he said this with uncontrollable confidence. Even though Nick quickly dismissed the charge as a heartfelt plea for assistance, it didn't stop social media from exploding. Oh, don't be concerned about Nick. Nick, you want me to let everyone know that everything is all right, so I'll do that. Nick, okay, so I said, I let Nick suck my DI, I enjoyed it, so it was all right. Nick, you sucked my, but everyone knows you did it as a woman, so I don't want to mention that you've been sucking. Giggles, Nick, you've been sucking mushmouth, you know that? __, you don't want me to start sucking Nick B. It's not a lie, everyone will be saying Nick KP sucking Nick KP suck. I was keeping quiet the other day because Brown has a history of erratic behavior and public mental health issues, but now that Cannon and Diddy are close, people are making connections and wondering if Brown's claim was the beginning of Diddy's treatment of young artists. I wanted to joke and laugh with it more, but when I look at it, I think, oh, how did we abandon such a talented young dude and now we're laughing at him? I also thought, here comes Orlando Brown, man, what do you do to that dude, man, do to my man? My boyfriend allegedly claimed you originally gave the we joking L. In addition, fans are recalling Lil Romeo's veiled remarks about Cannon and the Hollywood scene in general, implying that some celebrities are all too willing to support up-and-coming talent in ways that go beyond business. With Diddy's reputation under close scrutiny and Cannon's earlier declaration that he would mentor up-and-coming artists, we frequently wonder if these well-known figures are helping up-and-coming artists under the guise of mentorship, or if this is just the beginning of Diddy's downfall. As more people come forward, it's obvious that this may only be the beginning of Diddy's downfall. Will Romeo's story encourage other stars to speak out, or will Hollywood continue to keep its secrets hidden? Diddy recently deleted his Instagram, sending us into a frenzy of rumors. We wonder if this social media purge is a fresh start, abandoning his former life as a flamboyant mogul to avoid new controversies, or if it's just a cover-up before more secrets. Please contact us by leaving a comment below. And don't forget to watch our next film, in which we go even farther into the private lives of the greatest personalities in Hollywood. Try kissing you and all that. I saw you guys on Ellen, and you were always saying things like he wasn't even trying to kiss me on set, but after the set, he'll try to kiss me or applause. Who knew that your husband was doing things to boys and did things to your son, and you ain't doing _ about it, but told me everything. Folks, because the Diddy season is just getting started. Although nobody anticipated hearing that name, it seems like Jaden is sick of concealing his suffering and all Diddy has done to him. Even more shocking is that he's now involving his father. Fans seem to be in for some genuine family turmoil as Jaden portrays Will, who is right up there with Diddy. The Karate Kid believes Diddy and Will took advantage of him, and to be honest, it explains a lot of what Jaden has endured during his career. That Jaguar is much worse. Wright is supporting his assertions, but what exactly happened? Did Will and Diddy really harm him, or is he simply making things up to fit in with the times? Let's see if you already know what will occur. Let's get a few things out of the way first. Don't front, we've been down at Will Smith. When Jaden made his big screen debut at the age of 7, co-starring with his father in the movie The Pursuit of Love, he clearly did not have a typical upbringing. Happiness, but despite his successful debut, the actor didn't have it easy. To begin, fans think Jaden's career is similar to that of his parents, and they believe Jada and Will may have taught their son some of what they learned. Even though Jaden has never denied his sexuality, rumors persist that he is on the DL. In 2018, the musician shocked fans by publicly referring to Tyler, the Creator, as his. While performing at the Camp Flog Music Festival in Los Angeles, I wanted to say that Tyler, the Creator, is my best friend in the world and that I love him so much. I also wanted to tell you guys something that Tyler doesn't want to say, but Tyler is my _ boyfriend, and he's been my _ boyfriend my entire _ life. It's applause true, and the fire marshal said that they're going to shut us down, so if you could just take a moment to. I'm not sure what it indicates, but there are a lot of you, just to make certain they don't shut us down or anything. The Creator, Tyler, is my _ boyfriend. What was Tyler's response? Well, he waved his finger at the audience, telling them that it was untrue. Unfortunately for Tyler, Jaden was a persistent lover, and he later tweeted, "Yep, Tyler, the Creator, I told everyone you can't deny it now, but if you take anything away from this _ show, that's what you need to take away." With a laugh, we should probably mention that Tyler has his own share of rumors. In 2015, for example, he left fans in disbelief when he tweeted, "I tried to come out the damn closet like 4 days ago, and no one cared." Later, on the song I Ain't Got Time from his 2017 album Flower, he sang about locking lips with white boys since 2004. Perhaps Jaden wasn't playing around, but he was revealing something he shouldn't have been. More recently, the actor has been rumored to be involved in something. The two were spotted at Coachella 2024 with Justin Bieber of all people, and let's just say that the video of the encounter shocked fans. They saw Jaden approach Justin from behind and grind on him before Justin proceeded to plant a wet one on Jaden's cheek, which wasn't what fans were expecting. Keep in mind that the two were unaware that a camera was recording them, so this is likely how they act behind the scenes. Music One commenter said, "That doesn't look like a straight guy," which fans felt made the meeting very suspenseful. Feelings? But when asked about kissing Jaden a few weeks later, Justin didn't feel like explaining himself to fans. The question was, is there anything to the rumors? Put down the side, do you want to clarify about you and Jaden at Coachella? Yeah, it didn't seem like he wanted to stick around for that conversation. Diddy has been allegedly taking advantage of Justin for years, and some fans think that he's been traumatized by everything he's been through and still suffers to this day. Diddy introduced the baby singer to the world of freak-offs, which explains his contentious dating life. While we're talking about it, let's not forget that straight fans may never know what goes on in Jaden's bedroom, but he definitely has some serious baggage thanks to Will and Jada Smith. Growing up with parents in a dysfunctional marriage is difficult enough, but Will and Jada really take it to the next level. Back in 2022, the actor was asked about. He also remembered his parents telling him about living up to people's expectations before we heard it from others. This is what it's like to be the son of two well-known actors. Here's what he had to say: "I didn't understand, and I'm still learning more and more every day that they're just a staple in the world, and they make people feel a way that nobody has ever made anyone feel. People outside say you have to live up to our expectations of what we've done and accomplished in our lives, and you have to live with that. We kind of knew that when we were young. People treat me like I'm not a normal human so much that you start to believe that I'm not normal human," he said in an interview with Dazed in 2018 after he got the chance to work on the movie Skate Kitchen. However, ever things didn't go the way the family had planned after Earth made a disappointing $60 million in the United States, which isn't a great number when the budget for the film was $130 million. The ratings on Rotten Tomatoes didn't inspire confidence either, with the movie scoring a pitiful 11%, and guess who faced the brunt of the criticism? It was poor old Jaden. In his self-titled memoir said After Earth was an abysmal box office and critical failure, and what was worse was that Jaden took the hit. He continued. Fans and the press were absolutely vicious, they said, and printed things about Jaden that I refuse to repeat. Jaden had faithfully done everything that ID instructed him to do, and I had coached him into the worst public mauling he'd ever experienced. It's hard to imagine 15-year-old Jaden putting up with the criticism. Apparently, he felt betrayed and lost trust in his father, and so what did he do? Well, he asked to be legally separated from his parents. Yeah, you heard that right. In the end, Jaden opted against it, but the fact that he wanted to make that choice in the first place was a smack in the face to Will and Jada. Jaden was so traumatized that he felt he would be better off making his own decisions. Fans were startled, but not more than his own parents. In his memoir, The Pursuit of Happiness, actor described how, at the age of 15, Jaden inquired about becoming an emancipated minor. His decision to decline was heartbreaking, but it's terrible to feel like you've damaged your children, and it seems that Jaden may have regretted it. Choice he made in his heart, because the youngster did put him through it. I mean, how in the world did he believe it was okay for him to kiss Jaden in that way? Applause, he tried to kiss me. Have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before? Wow, you're my love. I kissed Jen. Come on, are you okay? My God. Since there's a whatchamacallit, there's a gap in the amount of affection displayed between the father and son. Is it like that at home or not? If this is how he acts in front of the cameras, it's absurd. Who knows what happens behind closed doors? Jaden could have found it amusing, but you know I adore him based on the way he avoided him during their appearance on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I adore you, Ellen. Applause giggles. When you have children and you're pleased with them, sometimes all you want to do is kiss them on the lips. In that case, fans didn't. Is it necessary to remind Will of all the gay accusations he's been slammed with over the years? For example, one person said, there is a fine line between playful affection and violating a person. Have fun by all means, but be appropriate and have some boundaries, and talk about being hypocritical, because look at how Will reacts when someone turns the tables on him, the only intelligent. Oh my God, a dream, they're your problem. Arquette, in a since deleted Facebook post, the actress made waves when she disclosed that Will's first marriage failed because he was having affairs. Alexis said, I'll listen to them for context when Jada comes out as gay and her bearded husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked into him servicing his sugar daddy, Benny Medina. Prior to Jada's arrival, Will was married to Cherie Zampino. Trisha Pease then criticized the actor for making an attempt to coerce her male dancers into having sex with him. How about worrying about your daughter's unfaithful spouse and her nude in bed at 13 with her 20-year-old lover on the internet? Oh my God, once the internet J Pinks were really going to listen. If the rumors had merely suggested that Will was interested in guys, everything would have been okay, but it seems that the reality is far worse. My fellow dancers, when they didn't want to speak about that, how about we talk about it now? The reason Will and Diddy are in the same sentence is because they've always been close. In fact, when Will slapped Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars, his best friend Diddy tried to defuse the situation, not realizing that this year would be the most exciting Oscars ever. Alright, Will and Chris, we're going to work that out like family at the goal party. Okay, but we're all going on with love right now, and he even shared his thoughts on the issue after it happened. Sometimes my ___ occurs. There was also the rumor that Diddy was prepared to throw hands after Will and Jade showed interest in wanting to sleep with Jennifer Lopez, who was his girlfriend at the time. The accusations were made by Gan Deal, Diddy's former partner, but Chris Rock got a chin, even though I know no one is even considering what I'm thinking. Bodyguard, he told me, yo, I think Will and Jada are trying to scoop up Jennifer. I want you to stay close because I'm a snuffer, but he shut down those rumors during his interview with Jimmy Kimmel. Let's be honest though, his response to the question wasn't all that convincing. Apparently, the four of them were sitting together at an event when Will floated the ridiculous idea. The other day I came across a man online who claimed to have been your security guard in the past and said that while you were dating J-Lo Will Smith. I thought that would have caused some obvious tension between Diddy and Will Smith, but fans believe that the two were able to move past it. After all, why else would Diddy stand in front of hundreds of people and try to ease the tension between Will and Chris? He would only have done that if he was close to Will, and the only reason Smith would be friends with someone like Diddy is, of course, because they were going to beat up Will Smith when Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome. When you're drinking together, you need to have something in common to chat about. It's likely that Will was introduced to the life of freaks by his friend, Diddy, and if you believe that we are exaggerating the facts here, consider the fact that Jaguar Wright essentially verified the reports that the Smiths were having freak-offs, something he should never have done. Chris, I'm not going to see the movie and it's not happening. Do you know why? Slapped. Did you notice, Chris, what he was likely dealing with at the time? I'm not sure what you're dealing with, but something made him lose it. No, something didn't make him lose it. He laughed at that shit joke. Chris told like everyone else, and then Jada looked at him and thought he was the Manian candidate, not the Manian, not the Manchurian. God damn, it occurred. I assumed that many women would say, I'm happy that Will is standing up for his woman since they